Well, hello everybody. I have not been live for a while. Well, a couple months,
Uh-huh.
maybe less than that. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Um, and I'm excited because I am here with my friend Jen and Jenny, and we are teaching a retreat here in a few weeks. We've been talking to some of you about it for a few months, but well, let's just chat about it. Welcome, ladies. How are you?
Doing great. How are
How are you?
you?
I can't complain. I am loving life. It is amazing. We are very, very blessed, and I can actually say that, and it's not words. I can actually just feel it. It's just
I
a
know that's what I was just talking to somebody about that, about the difference from feeling to saying something. I said that's flat. And that's what I mean, that's what I was hearing myself say. That's exactly what we want to teach them, the comparison of the flat versus the colorful. And it's really not colorful. It you feel it. It tingles, it moves, you can experience it, it dances, the whole thing, and they don't understand it. Most of the time, they don't even understand it. But when you take them to different places, and we've seen that a lot, I've seen this before. I've taken them to the cemeteries or something. And they go, I always would feel this. And I said, well, what are you feeling? She said, I was too afraid to ask.
well, isn't that interesting that they're afraid to ask, and they could really learn something in their own life by just
That's
asking.
exactly taking them to places like that. And we have the questions, we have the experience.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
the experiencers, and we could take, I don't know how many's coming, if any at all, but we take them to the side. You take them somewhere. You might feel somebody in there. I do this all the time. There could be, I just would say, I want to show you something, you know, and you just take them off to the side. That's what a good workshop is they're getting a real, directional with somebody that is experienced,
Yeah.
yeah,
not teaching, experienced. That's a different, it's the same, but in the way it says a lot differently when you've experienced something and you have taught something. Those are two different things.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think one of the things that I've been, you and I have talked quite a bit, and Jen, you and I have talked, a few times recently, is that there is just feeling that comes with navigating life, I guess is the best way to put it.
Mhm.
And so, I just had this experience last week where I, my degrees are behind me, and I had this big, huge block on matting and framing them, including some prints of photography of one of my best friend's photography. And he'd given this to me as a gift back in like 2014, and I didn't. I was had this huge block on matting and framing this because I thought it was going to be this huge extravaganza. So I went to Michael's like 5 years ago, and they were going to charge me $400 to mat and frame both of them, and I was just like, I freaked out, and then I thought, something that brings me so much joy. Why did it take me so long to frame and mat these four items? Well, then I went. It cost me a total of $30 to mat and frame all four of them, and then I just pulled out a tape measure and measured them and got this frame off of Amazon. Well, so it sounds so really silly, but small little things lead into bigger blocks that are blocking you from your fullest potential. So this may seem like a very silly thing for people, but if something brings you that much joy and happiness or a feeling of accomplishment, and you want to do something, and you're not doing it because of something silly, um, then that's something you have to take a look at. And that's one of the things we're going to start looking at in this workshop is how to use this energy to feel and look where your blocks are at so that you can overcome them, or better yet, transmute them so that you can use that energy for something else.
Well, what that brings me back is because what you were saying, it's really when you find those things that you've accomplished, you truly overcame, and you even say to yourself, well, hell, that was so easy. Why did I hold back? Well, then that's when you really learn because you've missed so many events in that time of your life through those little details. That's why when I was sitting there, I thought, well, when I went to Hawaii for the first time, I was like breathtaking. But I remember the day when I did one of those little those little menial things And I remember I cried in joy that like I saw when I was in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Mm. Hawaii is just like breathtaking.
Unbelievable. But when you can look at that, but look at the accomplishment. And it was because it was me that I said that I couldn't do it. And I sat down. Well, another good example is when nobody could fix my car because it was electrically running through my body every time I got in it, and everybody would look at me and crazy. So I went in there and I was sitting in my couch, just meditating, and a voice that came in said, "It's electric. Go get the electric tape." Do you see all the smoke in here?
I'm laughing because I feel like you and Jen are in the same room, but I know she's in Northern Florida and you're in Kentucky.
Is all this, and I'm thinking, where is this? And but I started noticing because at one time when we were all talking, look at that, and then
Frankincense
Are
and myrrh.
you burning incense?
I'm burning incense.
I know you are, but
not me.
It's not, but you can see.
smoke in your room too. That's hysterical.
But the thing is I'm so because I've had such proud of just amazing things that were coming in from things that I hadn't seen that I told you already. But yeah, and just connecting to these dots again, it was like, holy shit, this is how we need to do this. What we're talking about right there, because most people are always looking for that aha Hawaii. I mean, because I've had them. You're oh, but I remember when my son just last Christmas really said, "Mom, I love you." That took my breath. So do you see? They're missing. They're seeking all the time, but what are they really seeking? Those small little details that they have been told they're not good enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to teach this workshop and I'd have people write down, well, I want you to write down all the things you've accomplished in your life. And people will
Yeah.
say, I've not accomplished anything. And I'll just step back and I'm like, well, you've accomplished living this long, right? And they'll be like, well, that's not really an accomplishment. They downplay who
No.
they are. And then I'm like, okay, and it cracks me up because it'll be like a mother of kids or a dad of kids. I'm like, you raised those children, didn't you? They're like, yeah. I'm like, well, seems like you've done a whole lot because that's a big thing. It's not something I've done. I haven't raised any kids, so it's so one of those things where I commend you for doing this. And so this is a missed opportunity where we literally downplay who we are and what we've accomplished, and that what that does is it gives you that energy of smallness, and then the universe responds to you as an energy of smallness. Oh, okay, well, I guess they want to hang out and feel small, so I'm going to give more experiences to make them feel insignificant and small. So now what I'm going to do is take their job away from them, whatever. I'm going to make them feel poor, and I'm going to keep on doing that over and over again. So that's how that kind of stuff works, and that's one of the things we're going to be talking about in this retreat. And I just want to share my screen really quick because I was going to
Look
show
at
everybody.
the smoke in my room.
Where did it? Yeah, it's
That
on.
is,
It's
well, we're on fire. And God, by the way, smoke, guys, a lot of times is spirit. And so that's something that.
and that's what it is because that's the only time this looks like this. I mean, it looks like I'm in a fire.
It looks like It looks like I'm smoking you out, literally.
Yeah. Well, but because I've had several things that have opened up my.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, go on.
Oh, I was just going to show everybody. This is our retreat is May 19th through the 21st. We're calling it happens in the now of the moment. Just is a great way to think about it because we're going to talk a lot about living in the now of the moment, but we're also going to do a lot of healing work with everybody to help you with your own growth. And when you leave this retreat over the weekend, we got a lot of cool surprises that are going to be happening with this retreat. So just know that there's going to be some what I call excursions where we go out and actually experience some cool things around the local area. It's here in Newport Richey, Florida, which is where I live. These ladies are actually traveling to me. There is an amazing, amazing, amazing hotel if you don't live in the local area called the Hacienda, which is across the street from my place. We're actually having it in my house, which is beautiful. I live on a river, and you'll just absolutely enjoy it. If you live locally where you can drive back and forth, that's great. But I'm just saying there's two major hotels here, the Hacienda and the Comfort Inn, if you don't live locally. So DM me or call me. The phone number is here on this image if you would like to connect with me, but just DM me. My phone number is 813-421-2615. And my email is jmcdonald1974@gmail.com. So sorry, just had to get the business part out of the way. And
We're doing, I mean, I forget this. We're just, we just talk and we just do our little together.
yeah, no, totally fine. And that smoke, man, it was intense there before I shared my. Is the sun coming in? So, by the way,
Coming in, and I mean, but I have really cleaned in this room today. I mean, something told me because I knew we were going to meet, and I mean, I have picked everything up. I mean, and I mean, I'm thinking, wow, I could. But I've been in this before. I've done this at the other room that when you and I are together, when we're in my room, my living room, it gets like this.
yeah. Oh, yeah, it most definitely does.
Yeah,
So,
that's so cool, huh?
nothing. Go ahead.
No, it just, I mean, what's happened this today, I started out early this morning. At first, I got into it with the water company. This is the truth. This is what we're talking about every day. And I got on Facebook, and everybody seems to like, everybody thinks, but there's an energy, and I could feel it on Facebook. There was anger because they're putting new meters in the water company, and everybody's water bills are just, I mean, some are talking about $65 more, some went up 156. And I mean, you can feel the buzz. So what I started doing, because I've really have learned this on my own self, is I started asking questions. Why hasn't anybody called the water company? Well, you know, you can feel. So, and I just listened to what their gripe was, and it was about that exactly. But they didn't really know what was going on because they were just making up kind of, well, and they even said, well, it's a new company. I thought, has anybody gone to the water company? No, I went to the water company. I called Mitzi, and Mitzi and I had a wonderful opportunity to talk to each other. And we even talked a little about a spirit and about what was going on. And I told her what was going on Facebook. I said, this is not good for you all because these are people that are getting riled up. And she said, oh, Jenny, you just don't know that Facebook, So I said, I'm giving you an opportunity. Tell me everything. So what I did is I found out everything, put it on that page. And I said, now you know what the truth is. Now you'll know. And I just got a new meter today. This is what started all of it. So I'm gauging. And I said there, I'm going to gauge everything. I've got every bill. But this is, and you could feel the energy go like this. On the page. Now, when you can do that on a computer, think what we can do when we're with a group of people that truly start understanding the things that they can do with us and with themselves or with any groups to change a lot. We all want to know can we do. Only what we do is we change ourselves to change each other within us. And that through the energy, through true energy. I mean, it's true. I mean, it works. If I know there's people out there, if they've had that experience, you definitely want to come here because we all on fire to really, I'm ready to change the world. I'm tired of living in this one. I mean, I know there's more fun going on. And I mean, I live on another, part of that. God, I do. I live a great life. So, you are still working. I'm retired, but I'm retired in so many different ways.
Well, I mean, if that's what they call it, they call it.
Yeah.
They call it work. I don't know if I would call it that. I mean, it's just one of those things where you realize, like I realized a long time ago, that my day work and my spiritual work, they blend together.
Yes.
And I'm just grateful. I mean, I've picked up more clients at jobs that I've worked at. And so, and for the longest time, I'd always be upset about it. I'd be like, oh, why do I have to work this job? Well, I can share with you guys that what you get upset about and that with which you resist persists. And so you're going to be upset about it, and the universe is going to be like, okay, great. I mean, I guess you like this whole being upset thing. So I'm going to keep on bringing you situations to upset you. And until you say, I am grateful for the opportunities I have right now in this moment, and my divine plan is manifesting right now. And those are one of the things we're going to teach you. Those are just words unless you know how to feel the energy. And so one of the things people say,
Jen had an experience.
oh yeah, let's hear about it.
We need to get her voice. There's something that just recently happened to you
Oh,
about resistance.
I haven't heard this then.
No.
Jenny, lead us in on this.
Okay. Remember when I wanted you to go to Stone Soup? This, the place that you were kind of feeling that you didn't feel comfortable there anymore, and I should probably never said that, but it doesn't matter. And so I said, you need to go. And you were very much in resistance. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And so,
is she giving that southern smile like, I can't believe you're bringing this up?
No, it's okay, because full transparency, it's okay. It's okay. This is all part of the growth process. And that's what's so wonderful is as we grow and we're going through this journey that we call life, right? There's going to be so many things that we, so many ways to heal ourselves, so many ways to be in awareness. And, as we go through different seasons, and some seasons call for, our circles to look like this. And some seasons call for our circles to shrink down a little bit. And then some seasons call for us to go in our cave and kind of hibernate for a little bit. And so there's all kinds of different things that we get to experience in the journey of life, right? The ups, the downs, the lows, the highs. One of the things I want to be able to share with everybody when we have this space is really emphasizing the awareness and the self-responsibility and how we can shift our lives just by shifting our internal landscape, right? And our internal landscape will have everything to do with our external outermost reality. And in order to bring these into alignment, there are some things that we really need to do to kind of prep ourselves. And there are a lot of people who are asking a lot of questions, who are kind of waking up from some slumber going, hey, I'm in my 30s and this just doesn't feel right. I thought there'd be more to life than this, and things are happening. And, there's these big transitions going on. And I think that coming together and talking about, quantum energy and talking about healing and how to heal, these are the things that
wait a minute.
Sorry, go ahead, Jenny.
What you're saying, but let's go even deeper than that, because what you experienced, that's even deeper, because that being non-resistant.
Yeah. When we feel the resistance, as scary as it can be sometimes, no matter how scary it can be, if we push through and we use that resistance. So energy, right? We talk about energy.
But wait a minute, did you have to push it? Because remember, the universe, you were in resistance, but the universe sent them to you.
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
It's a very good, yeah. So to piggyback off what Jeremy said, what we resist, the universe will bring to us if we sometimes are having a hard time, pushing through. If we, are scared, if we are,
so how do we do that? A lot of times people in retreats, and I know they all hear this. This is how do you?
The beautiful thing is we're going to teach you how, because so many books, so many resources on the web, so many videos, so many people, they want to tell you this is what to do. But there aren't a lot of people actually sitting with you, helping you process and unpack these big emotions, teaching you how. And then getting to the root with you and teaching you and empowering you to heal yourself from things that have happened. And so this is what I'm bringing to this. This is what we are bringing to this, is to teach you how, because That's not being spoken about. They'll say, you need to go work on clearing your chakras. You need to work on this. You need to work on this. But there's a blueprint. There's so many different ways to the top of the mountain, right? There's paths that are abounding, and there's no single one path that's going to get you there that's going to be any better than the other paths. And when we talk about philosophies, we talk about ways of doing things, we talk about our beliefs, we talk about how we keep ourselves boxed in with our limiting beliefs, and how we really
and you've experienced that. Not, but
that's what I'm here to. I have healed from so much, you guys. And
God, that's what
there's so many ways to the top of the mountain. But here's the really beautiful thing about it: we get to all experience it ourselves. But how amazing and empowering is it when we have people who have been through this, who can share their their experiences with us, and go, hey, guess what? I know that this may not resonate with everybody, but there will be some people that resonates with, because they're already being drawn to me and to us, right? And so those people that are drawn to us, those are the people that are going to hear our message, and it's going to resonate, And so I have created a program, a blueprint of how to heal from some of the most egregious things. And I can sit with you and help you unpack. And these guys can sit with you and help you process and unpack this stuff and understand it from what it is. There is no victim mentality when you're talking healing. There's no victim, right? We're empowering ourselves. And we have to push through those places and those spaces that we fear the most, because we're not going to really grow and expand and reach our fullest potential when we live in our comfort zone, right? Mm-hmm. And if we're always pointing the finger at somebody else, this is one of my favorite things that Jenny has taught me. When you're pointing the finger at someone else, there's 3 fingers pointing back at you. And she's right. She's right. And so there's an element of self-responsibility when you're talking about healing, and when you're talking about overcoming things that have plagued you for years and years. We're going to teach you how, and we're going to show you how, and we're going to show you how energy is not, you can't just kill energy. You can't just stop energy. You can transmute it, you can change it, and you can use it to assist you. We are created of energy. So why would we not want to understand what we're created of, right? But a lot of times people don't know this because we're not taught this in school. So it's going to be a really beautiful introduction to energy. What is energy? How do you work with energy? What does it feel like? What does it look like? And that's even different for everybody. So we have so much to explore and go over. And it's going to be everything from energy to healing, how to get there. Sorry, guys, how to get there. And we're going to give you a lot of really good principles that you can carry with you, and not only use on yourself, but to also help bring some sort of, pass it forward, pay it forward. We're going to teach you how to help you and how to help others. And you changing your inner landscape will change your outer physical outermost reality. And that's what we're here to help you with. So we have a lot of amazing things in store. We're really, really excited to meet each one of you. We know that the universe is going to call the perfect and right people to this event. We're going to have the perfect space and place, and it's all going to be in divine order, divine timing, divine plan, making it easy. Right, Jenny?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel that. Really feel it.
We're going to work with you.
When I'm listening to her room, I've watched her.
Sorry. I muted my computer, and I guess I muted myself.
Oh, no. Funny. I was sitting there and I've done her work. I've been working. What is that?
What is what?
You're feeding back on us.
I am.
One of you are.
Wonder why. Now?
That's better. That's better.
Okay.
And I remember we were in a very intense energy moment. I mean, we were connected strong with our heart, and the doorbell rang.
Yeah, that was interesting. And that happened twice, Jenny? It happened once when it was just you and I in session, and it happened another time when
you didn't recognize it.
Yeah.
But
we felt it. Did we? We felt it before we saw it, right?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I felt it before, but you felt it. You said you felt, kind of yucky because he'd been there before.
Yeah.
And it just kind of startled you because I saw your face and it was like, but when you got up immediately, remember how we were just, oh my gosh, it was like, ugh, it was real hard when you had let go of the energy. And and the first thing I said to her, and Jeremy, you would understand, I said, I'm going to tell her when she comes back, you can't do that. Well,
And these are things that you want to pay. One of the things we're going to be teaching at this retreat, guys, is paying attention to the energies around you. I was doing some very deep emotional work a few years ago, and I remember the smallest little tick or sound in the house would pull me out. And what we mean by pulling out is that stillness or that place where the energy is flowing, so to speak, and you're in that now of the moment, or what Jenny and I like to call dancing with spirit or God or
mhm.
whatever. You're in this moment where you're really deep into yourself and you're working on yourself. And the things that can pull you out is what Jen was talking about: one finger pointing out in judgment, three pointing back at you. And that's one of the reasons why that phrase is so important, is because when you're so busy worrying about what other people are doing, your energy is not here in the now of the moment in your body. It's out somewhere else judging other people, and it's not in here.
Ourselves.
Or then,
So,
the same night I was working on myself, a trash truck came by at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and it pulled me out of that state I was in. And those things we're going to really look at. We're also going to be looking at feeling energy, and a fun little exercise that we're going to be doing here in the local area. Um, and with that, we're going to teach you how to use that in a practical way in your life, the feeling that energy. But just want to show this really quick before we kind of wrap up. Here is, I want to show you this real quick again, because some of you guys might be asking cost, and the cost is a sliding scale, $150 to $350. And so, what I would do is I would pray about it, meditate on it. If you would like to come, DM me, message me, say that this is what I'm going to be paying. We'll agree upon that. I'll give you all the details, and we'll go from there. The reason why we have to charge a minimum is because Jen and Virginia are coming from other areas. There are some things that are costing money as a result of this, and we have to pay for those. And there's an exchange, So definitely reach out to us. I feel there are limited seats for this particular event. So I would jump on it. I wouldn't wait for it. I would get to us. One of the reasons why we're kind of doing the advertising like this, the official advertising, a little bit closer to it, because we already have people that are actually already signed up. So those are things that you just want to be able to get on it as soon as possible. So message me, DM me, and then I'm going to let these ladies wrap up, because I've took over the conversation.
Do you want to hit base on the energy exchange of the fee, because that really will help, I think, connect it for a lot of people.
So you mean why we're charging it the base?
Yeah, so the reciprocation, right? We're bringing it full circle.
Oh
So
yeah, energetically. Yeah, energetically, when we are giving and receiving, we want to make sure that flow of energy is there. And so it's not necessarily about the money. It's about the flow of the receiving, and that reciprocal energy. And that's super important when you're thinking about energy, because if you're always like, how do I get this without paying for it, or how do I get this without receiving, then what you're telling the universe is that, hey, well, I guess they're not abundant, so I'm going to give them more situations that are not abundant. So that's one of the other things we're going to be working on, is starting to look at things differently, and that energy exchange of how the energy flows to you. And the truth is you're abundant. But yeah, so there is a base. There is a base of 150, because that's what it costs, obviously. There's a couple excursions and things and food and stuff like that. We are going to be providing lunch on the days that you're here. You'll be taking care of your own dinner, and we'll have some coffee and tea here for people, and water for people as well that are here, part of the event as well. So
James worked really hard on putting this stuff together. So he's got some really cool surprises for all of us in store, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So you guys, that's pretty much it. Did you guys want to end with anything before we
no,
end the live?
looking forward to seeing each other in the same room together.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're looking so forward to meeting all of you. Whether you're watching this live, whether you're watching a replay, if that's something that we're going to have available, or whether you don't even see this at all and you just
Feel it.
Yeah. So we're just looking forward to sharing space with everybody, and being with all of you and connecting with all of you.
All right.
Much love, everybody. Peace.
Bye. Love you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.